Hey folks, we're going to get a little petty. Stick. Hey folks, old man Grognard here, and today we're going to review this book here called Petty Gods by the Old School Role Playing Community, or ORC, and it's released through Richard J. LeBlanc's New Big Dragon Games. He published it. Yes. Now, deity books I never had much use for. It's nice to have a pantheon, and people always wonder what, the peasants worship. And you have clerics and things like that in most of your D&D games. It goes all the way back to this. I find this one of the least interesting, it's interesting if you like that kind of stuff. But I don't use this it's one of those books I keep around just in case. Somebody wants to use a pantheon, and okay, fine. It's in the book here, and I want to be a priest of Odin. Okay, fine, you're a priest of Odin, big deal. Or a priest of, I don't know, whoever. Pantheon, if you like the pantheon in your world. I admire places like, Forgotten Realms and Greyhawk, who make their own pantheons up. But I just didn't have much use for it, that's all. What I liked, and I found out what I liked, was the smaller gods, the little gods, the regional gods, the minor gods. And so Judges Guild came out with something called The Unknown Gods. This one right here. And it was edited by Janelle Jacques, and it's got just tons of little tiny gods. Skodum, god of the hunt. Maudorn, god of shadows, things like that, with pictures and everything. And I find that more interesting and more, it adds more to my game. So in that vein, we have Petty Gods. Petty Gods right here. This is the revised and expanded version. There's an earlier version out there that runs about 150 pages. This one runs about 396 pages. That's why it's revised and expanded. This thing went through 3 editors, actually 5, but the 3 main ones were James Maslowski on, he started it with his Grognardia blog. Then he had a little trouble with a Kickstarter, and I'm not going to go into that, but he dropped it. Greg Gorgonmilk picked it up for a while and edited it and added some stuff. And then it ended up at Richard LeBlanc's wheelhouse, and he ended up publishing it. I mean, the original Petty Gods was out there, but they want to do a great big, hoo-ha, revised and expanded, which is fine. And this thing has got a veritable ton of writers and artists. For instance, here is the page. That's the writers, that's the artists. A lot of people, from the well-known to the obscure. Like me, I have about a half dozen pictures in here. And it exploded, because it's not just, and you've got plenty of gods in here. Little tiny gods, like this one. Like, for instance, the one on the bottom right with my picture there is the god of ill-timed explosions. Here's another one. There's a couple more on here. I like the one that Janelle Jacques did of the god of frogs and frog princes and frog kissing. So you can really get granular with these things. Because I like the idea of, like I said, regional gods. I came up with a god of agriculture in my world called Potatoes. And he kind of looks like Mr. Potato Head with the Greek robes on. And it's fun because you can come up with superstitions and rituals and stuff. I keep thinking of the scene in Ralph Bakshi's Wizards, where the 2 soldiers come across this temple of some obscure god, and the 2 priests there just spend most of the day praying to the god, and finally they get mad and the bad guys blow up the temple because they just won't stop. So that's the kind of thing I like in my world, little things like that. Now, this is, like I said, 396 pages. The PDF, which Richard put out first, is free. Again, something else that's free. Hardcover and softcover through Lulu. Hardcover $22.47, softcover $33.22. So it's not bad. Not bad price-wise as far as what you're getting, because this thing is a solid book. You know, I have my doubts about Lulu sometimes, but they can put out really good stuff. I mean, I got all the like basic fantasy, most of the basic fantasy stuff to them, and this and a few other things. But on the whole, they've done all right. But anyway, that's Petty Gods. And if you have any comments, questions, or anecdotes about it, let me know at grognard@gmail.com. All right, well, that's for Petty Gods now. And so until next time, bye-bye.